Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Fratello Talks. I'm your host Nacho, and today I'm joined by
RJ
and
Daan.
And we're back, home sweet home, after a week in Geneva. And I gotta say that it's a little bit comfier here than in the YouTube studio. It's good to be back. We're going to be talking, of course, about our week at Watches and Wonders, some highlights, some lowlights, and I think just basically trauma bonding over the whole experience, which is I think the healthy thing to do. We've lit our candle and we're here to talk about some stuff that we saw. Of course, before let's do a wrist check. RJ, what is on your wrist today? Oh, yeah, you start off with a new watch alert.
Yeah, until you away, man.
Sorry, you do it.
Just before Watches and Wonders, I bought a Rolex GMT Master 2, reference 16713. So it's a gold steel GMT Master with a brown dial and a two-tone bezel, also known as the Tiger Eye or Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, we're going to call you Clint from now on.
Yeah, Clint Ostwald.
As they say in Germany.
On a Jubilee. So that's what I wanted.
That's what you had with you as well for most of the week last week, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. And a new bezel.
Yeah, it came with a very faded bezel, which looked nice, but there was some corrosion, so it was damaged. Mm-hmm. And then I bought a new bezel. And,
you have it already?
Switched it yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have to say I was a fan of the faded bezel, but...
Me too. But this is also nice.
Seeing the color pop like that, it really...
Root beer.
It matches the dial a bit better now.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. No, very happy with it.
Nice. Daan, what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing also the same watch I was wearing all week last week, and it's the Cartier Santos Galbé extra large.
Very, very nice. And then I'll be asking you later if you saw anything at Cartier that you liked more than this. I think...
More? Let's see.
More? No. Okay, perfect. And I'm not wearing a watch that I wore last week. I'm wearing a watch that I sort of missed last week, which is my Seamaster, my trusty Seamaster Professional reference 2254. Back on the bracelet, and I missed it, and now it's I'm back to wearing it.
What did you wear again?
I had two watches with me. I had the Tudor Pelagos FXD, and I also had that little vintage Caravel.
Oh yeah, that I saw
from 1970.
Yeah. I also didn't see the Pelagos.
I wore it. It was one day one or one day the other. Okay. So it was on and off. So yeah, that's the thing with Watches and Wonders, right? You're running around, and I think we probably saw each other.
We don't really see each other a lot.
No, just every now and then it's hey, how's it going? Oh, good. I'm running to the next appointment. All right, bye. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. But just to jump into it, what were some of you guys' highlights from the show? Maybe we can start with you, RJ. What were or general feelings? Start with some general feelings about the show, the fair.
General feeling was it was a good spirit.
I think so too.
I would say among the brands, but also the visitors, so the media and the retailers.
Until the tariffs.
Until the Trump.
But I think in general it was good and people were enthusiastic. I think it was more positive vibe than last year. Mm-hmm. Although we know that the market slowed down tremendously. I would have expected that it would be a bit more... Mm-hmm. Putting more pressure on the exhibition, on the Watches and Wonders fair, but it wasn't. I think it was really a positive atmosphere. It was good.
And I think also from the brands, right? I think last year...
So brands and retailers and media, I think all were quite positive, and retailers put in orders, and that was good. So. Because
last year you could tell, I think that there was a bit of like a cautious approach from some brands, whereas the year before it was, my cup runneth over. And then in contrast to that, it was a little bit like, you could feel that it was a little bit tense. And then this year that was certainly not the case. I mentioned it in the quick podcast we did live on location. And then of course that was recorded before we were aware of these new tariffs from our orange friend in the White House. That's it's a shame. We'll have to see sort of how that affects everything.
Yeah, let's see how that happens. It's also, I think, a negotiation tactic by him.
100%.
He drops a bomb and then he starts negotiating. And so the tariffs from Switzerland to the US is 31%, I believe, but it's on the export price. So that's even before the wholesale price. So it's not on the retail price. Yeah. It's different if you buy, let's say, if you are an end consumer and buy a watch directly from a brand in Switzerland, then it's on the retail price, ex VAT. So ex VAT Swiss price, then you have to pay the import tariffs. Yeah. But if from business to business is basically on the export price.
Yep.
So in the end, it's not 31% for those watches, but also for Europe, if they have to pay an additional 20%, I believe, if they in the US if they order watches from
I believe
from
so.
the EU.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, like you say, it's a bit of a negotiation tactic, and probably larger groups, LVMH, Richemont, Swatch Group, they'll probably be able to work some sort of something out.
I think Switzerland needs to work out a deal with the US.
But that's the thing. Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah. But it's very. I think it's quite complicated. I'm not a fiscalist or whatever, so I also don't know.
No, exactly.
So it's very uncertain for now, but I do believe it will sort itself out. To be
exactly,
honest.
Exactly. We remain somewhat cautiously optimistic. But let's talk about what we do know, which is watches.
Yeah.
Yes. What were some of your highlights?
My highlights. Definitely the new Piaget Polo 79 in white gold. So last year was the yellow gold and this year is the white gold. I think it's really cool. I still prefer the yellow gold though, but it's so good.
Yeah, of course.
That the white gold is still nice, and the new Andy Warhol is also beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can configure your own version on the website, which is also quite cool.
Very nice.
Which is your favorite?
Of the Andy Warhol?
Yeah.
I think the rose gold with the malachite.
Oh, okay.
I wish that I didn't see yellow gold. Perhaps I have yellow gold, but I didn't see it. I could choose between white gold and rose gold because they also had tiger eye stone dial. I prefer that in a yellow gold and not in a rose gold.
Yeah. Piaget, if you're listening, yellow gold.
Do it. Yeah. I had a very good meeting at Chopard. Of course, the new Alpine Eagle in platinum is beautiful, but it's also 100k, 109k euro, which is a bit much. But a beautiful watch. But there was also a Chopard LUC with a marquetry dial.
Yeah.
That was super cool. This green marquetry dial.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
It had like a basket weave texture almost. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very nice.
You do it in-house and Fleurier, and it's really beautifully done. Yeah. I did feel that last year Chopard was really strong because they also had LUC watches starting at 12k or something. And this year it all seemed to start above 20k.
Yeah, true.
So also the marquetry dial, I don't even know the price, but I think it was like, I don't know, 70, 80, something like that.
Right.
So there was a really out of the wallet, as we say in the Netherlands. Then I think Rolex was strong this year because it was very diverse.
Yeah.
They had different offerings, you could say. So sports watches, they had the new 1908 with the yellow gold bracelet.
And a completely new offering as well.
Yeah, and the Land Dweller, of course. The Land Dweller is an interesting watch. What I found interesting is that during the meeting I think everyone saw the Land Dweller, and you can read up on it on the website, a lot of stuff on YouTube. So I guess that the viewers and listeners know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not an April Fool's joke.
No, definitely not. No, I think that was a bit clickbait comments. But what I found interesting is that during the meeting at Rolex, they did not mention one single time the oyster quartz.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So it is basically an oyster quartz with a new movement and a new dial. True. And what I found interesting is that they mentioned the first quartz, which was based on a Beta 21 quartz movement. That was a very thick and big quartz movement, one of the first, or perhaps the first from Switzerland, done by more than a dozen Swiss watch brands combined. And Rolex used that in their Texano watch. I think it's reference 5100, but don't pin me down on it. They had it in yellow gold and white gold. And that they mentioned. And then in the little exhibition room they also had the oyster quartz case with the mechanical movement, just like a Datejust.
Right.
I think that was from 74, reference 1530, I believe. And then in 77, it was a very good year. They came with the oyster quartz, but they did not mention it. They didn't show it as if they were ashamed of it. Yeah. I didn't get it.
It's a bit strange. It's
very strange.
Yeah, because it's a significant part of.
Yes. Do you think that they are afraid that people will massively go on Chrono 24 and buy those oyster quartz models?
I mean, that's still going to be something like that. Only like the enthusiasts, the real sort of the nerdy enthusiasts.
Yeah, because I also saw that people
like
say,
us.
Yeah, I
also don't think they have to be afraid of people buying vintage, right? it's not going to be.
No, it will not be huge numbers, but I think they then will lose someone on the sale of a new watch.
But it's hard to think of another reason. I mean,
it's super weird. Perhaps I don't know. At first, I thought, perhaps because it's quartz, I'm not exactly proud of it. But they started with a Beta 21, so that's a bit strange. But I like the watch. I don't like the dial that much because of the 2 numerals, which are a bit weird.
2 numerals and the honeycomb pattern.
The honeycomb is a bit strange, but I think they will come out with more dials in the future. Yeah. And but 2 sizes, 36 and 40, both are very nice. But I also have to say the price is quite steep. And for that money, you can buy a yellow gold oyster quartz day date. If you want to be a real ball.
I mean, that's don't tempt me with a good time. That sounds like the way to go, I would say. Yeah. But to be honest, my take on it, it's one that I think other people I've heard mentioned from others, and it's that it should have just said date just on the dial.
Yeah.
And it could have just been a bit of a flat dial, just a standard Rolex date just sunburst or whatever they call it these days dial with bar markers and that's it. I think then it would have been great. Yeah. But I also get that
sport.
Yeah, but I get in a way that they have to sort of. I mean, and this is again not an original thought, but something that I heard the guys from the Collective Horology say on their podcast, Open Worked, and they said it's a little bit like Rolex did the cubitus. But they actually pulled it off.
Oh, Rolex did the cubitus.
Yeah.
But they pulled it. Yeah,
Rolex this is their version of the cubitus, but they actually sort of pulled it off.
Yeah. And it's really a reissue, I feel. It's an oyster quartz case and bracelet very clearly. So I saw a lot of memes, it's a PRX or AP. No, oyster quartz.
Oh, come on, PRX thing. That's kind of funny that the official Tissot page just was like, you can also get this
Tissot,
one.
Awful.
Yeah, bad.
Don't do it again.
No, I also don't think it's funny. It was meant as a joke. But man, Swiss people should not make jokes, man.
Like
Germans.
Name one
Anyway,
sorry.
Next,
I really like the GMT with the Tiger Iron dial. They showed it to us with the Everose version, but on the website you can also configure it in the yellow gold.
Of course.
GMT. Oh, okay.
The new OPs are cool. With the pistachio dial and the beige dial.
Beige is really
super nice. And Land Dweller. And also for Land Dweller, I think most important is perhaps the movement. New escapement. They use ceramic parts now as well for the pinions. Really nice. They probably will roll it out to other models as well in the future, I guess, with these type of developments. But I also have to say, if that will add a tremendous amount on top of the price, at some point it also gets a little bit tricky, right?
For sure. Yeah.
It's funny
sorry, go on.
We asked if the service interval would change or warranty or anything. Nothing changes. It's just
it's more accuracy and more higher precision, and it is what it is.
Any
less wear and tear.
Yeah, but then you would maybe expect. You only have to service it maybe every 10 years.
But also with the coaxial, I think this movement and also the coaxial movement, in theory, it should be like frictionless.
Yeah.
But of course it isn't. They still need to put in oil, so it needs to be surfaced at some point.
For me, Rolex, it was a little bit tough. I also I was not a huge fan of the Destro GMT in white gold with the ceramic. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The green one.
I wish I had as well. But
is there a nickname already for it?
I don't know.
The other one was a
Sprite Light. The other one has to be the Sprite Zero, and then this has to be
green.
The full fat Sprite. I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't see Rolex do something with titanium again, because I think that young master was probably.
I was very happy about that.
Yeah, I know, but I was disappointed. I almost walked in and said, "So we're here to see the titanium watch," and they would have said, "Which titanium watch?" Oh, sorry, wrong meeting, and then just gone away. No, but that was the one thing I was hoping for to see, perhaps like a titanium.
Well, the bracelet on the 1908 was really nice,
beautiful.
Though. Yeah, it really fixes the watch. Super cool. Really nice.
On to the next. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Tribute Monophase in rose gold. Super nice with the Milanese bracelet. Yeah. Price was a little bit steep. I wrote, I think my article, it was okay-ish, but then they communicated a different price before. They communicated 35.9 retail price. For me, that's always including VAT, but apparently there it's not. So it's including VAT, it's 44 point something.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, but still a beautiful watch. Then the Cartier meeting.
Weren't you a little bit on JLC? Aren't you surprised that they only focus on the Reverso?
Yeah, but
it's the only thing they focus on already for 2 years.
With the rest, they failed.
Yeah.
Last year they had some other models.
Yeah,
as
they
well,
also had the Polaris, and
they had a few Polaris models. But
this meeting or this what did you want? It was just
but it's
all the teasers.
What the Royal Oak is to AP is the Reverso for JLC.
Yeah.
You could also perhaps debate even whether a Reverso is not a stronger brand name than Jaeger. Meanwhile.
That's true. But last year there was plenty of stuff. There was also this super highly complicated tourbillon thing, and also the Master Ultra Thin, a new version of that, which was beautiful. True. That's probably my favorite from Jaeger. It's true that this year was just
Reverso.
All Reverso.
Yeah, but I liked it.
Oh, they were really nice.
Yeah, 100%. Really nice. Cartier. Yeah, the meeting sucked. I walked away actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't show the watches we wanted to see.
That's so tricky.
They came with trays and
they fly in and out.
I said, "Can I see the watch?" No, and they just put it back.
Oh,
unbelievable! So at some point, colleague Gerard and I stood up and just.
I was in a different meeting, luckily.
Yeah.
Anyway,
same here.
Experience.
The Santos Dumont in yellow gold.
Yeah,
that I liked. I didn't see that one coming.
It's a bigger version now, right?
Yeah. Wood. It's called wood.
Yeah.
They had three, right? It was a
rose gold and white gold or platinum, and the yellow. The yellow gold is really awesome.
What dial color was that?
Gold.
It was gold on gold, right?
Gold
and then there
was
was
always good.
Yeah, the platinum had like a copper dial, and okay.
White gold.
I also like the Santos Dumont with the skeletonized dial with the little airplane as a rotor.
Oh yeah, that's perhaps when
they used to do that in a bigger size, but now they do it in a smaller size.
I was going to say, I remember the
perfect
little,
for my wrist.
The little plane.
I was a bit disappointed with the Tank Louis Cartier.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw a picture on your wrist and it worked really well on your
but
wrist.
I am a bit disappointed with the dial.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the motive is really...
it's subtle.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Well, in the past it was proper guilloché. Yeah. And now it's almost like they just...
Yeah.
It's like two different finishes. It's like a little bit of a grainier finish, but it's very, very lightly lightly applied. Yeah. I thought it was a little bit too big. And the way that I could tell was once I tried on the Tank à Guichet, and then you could really see that was the perfect size.
Better size, yeah. No, but it looked really good on RJ's wrist.
Yeah, it was good.
And I tried the smaller platinum one,
right,
with the gray sunburst dial, which is really, that size is perfect. Yeah, really nice.
I think it'll be hugely popular.
Yeah,
because it's automatic, it's gold, and it's just. It's the tank. And I think that for a lot of the people who have been thinking, I love a tank, it looks really cool, Cartier is a nice brand, and they think it's a little,
I've seen less rude people in a meeting, to be honest. Okay. It was really awful.
Okay. Fair enough. But I think it'll still do well because that larger size is just bound to do well. I mean, so it's just filling a gap in the catalog, to be honest. Yeah.
And Parmigiani with a new Toric, Van Champ Perpetual. In rose gold.
Those are so clean.
Beautiful.
So clean.
Really beautiful.
Yeah. I missed that completely, and I'm very glad you showed me. That was one of the blind spots for the week somehow.
Really good.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
Then I didn't write it down, but
but also the Tondas. The Tondas they were showing, they're really good.
I think Parmigiani is really...
the colors that
really
they choose for their dials and the finishes, it's just... And they also fit really well. I don't know. They've really...
And on the more affordable side of things...
Roger Dubuis? No.
I really liked Alpina.
Yeah.
With their Tropic Proof.
Okay.
I think that was a surprising, neat little watch that they put out. And that was good.
Yeah, based on a vintage one, just a very classic just... I mean, it wouldn't have been a dress watch even back in the day, just a sporty take on a classic take on a sporty watch from back in the day, and it looks good. I liked it as well.
So these are my highlights.
Cool.
Low light is the way Cartier treated us. For the rest, no, I think it was a pretty good fare. I missed some watches. I mean, Lange is always beautiful, but these were
the Lange 35 millimeters.
34.
Yeah, 34.
Oh, that's
really nice.
Yeah, beautiful. My issue with that is it's 27K or something euro. For below 20, you buy a Lange one on the pre-owned market. I find that a little bit difficult.
Yeah. I think the threat of the pre-owned market is something that can be felt in a lot of these buying decisions, where, especially now that it's so solidly established, right? I mean, it feels like if you buy from reliable sellers and everything, there's so many options out there that are great. And it means that essentially whereas before it could have been a bit of a chancy option to take.
Yeah.
These days there's just a lot of great options out there.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the thing with having some unfortunate meetings, I think that it just happens. It's like part of the week, right? I mean, you saw me walking out of a meeting also for good reasons. Which was,
but that I also had a few of those. But there I also feel it was just too crowded. You can't see the watch, and people were super friendly. It was just too crowded.
I kept getting hit by the door. The door kept open.
I kept
getting hit. I was the third time it did it, I was like, I'm gonna step outside. I already know what's here. And
but if people are downright rude to you and also to their own staff, I think it's awful.
Okay.
You should not do that.
Yeah. I thought it was weird. Speaking of Cartier, that some of the watches they told us were being repaired or something, and we couldn't see them. So I didn't see the platinum Tank à Guichet because apparently it was.
Waco.
There were some scratches on some of them, but
yeah. Interesting. So that's were my highlights. So
cool.
Yeah.
Dan, tell us about some things you saw.
Yeah, I'll add some to RJ's list because he also mentioned some of my favorite ones. But I think Angelus was very nice with their chronograph Télémètre.
The monopusher, right?
Yeah, monopusher, 37 millimeters.
Yeah.
There's a yellow gold and a stainless steel version.
Two steel versions.
Two stainless steel versions.
You don't have to ask RJ which one he likes best, right?
Yeah, it's the yellow gold one, I guess. But
it gave it a more vintage look.
Yeah,
the gold one.
True, but I really like the stainless steel with the gray dial. It was a really monochrome, very nice.
Yeah, agree.
37 millimeter chronograph. I really liked. I saw Christian van der Klauw. Their Grand Planetarium made of meteorite.
Yeah. And they said it has Mars rocks or Mars stones.
Yeah,
but there are none.
No.
So it comes from the thing surrounding.
It was the
Mars.
same meteorite I think
meteorite,
they used on the dial. But the case really had a nice texture, and it almost gave light. Like it was very. Very
Do you happen
nice.
to know the price?
It was 500,000 euros something, and they made 3, and they already sold 2 on the fair. I think so. 580,000.
So you both
euros,
bought one.
Exactly.
I was not. I saw. Actually, I saw a picture. Shout out to Morgan, our previous photographer. He was running around taking some pictures at the fair, and he showed me very excited some pictures on the back screen of his camera of that watch. And I have to say, it was very impressive.
Beautiful, huh?
Very impressive.
Very nice. It really suits the watch as well. It's the perfect watch to do it with. So, of course. I really like the Grand Seiko Lion's Tentograph, the bulky,
the Tokyo Lion.
The Tokyo Lion. It was just Grand Seiko.
It reminded me of a Royal Concept from the early 2000s.
Yep.
So bold.
Yeah, it's very bold, and I like it because Grand Seiko is normally quite serious and quite like, we did it with nature inspired.
The Tentograph, right?
Tentograph.
That pulled in most traffic on the website last week. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So in total, I think Rolex.
Of course,
is the one with the most readers.
Yeah.
But that Tentograph article did so well. I was amazed by it.
It's a watch that really, in a way, when you read the dimensions and you see a picture of it, you might think, this is.
But on the wrist, it's nice.
Completely nuts.
It's cool.
And when you try it on, it's fantastic. Yeah. There's little details, even with like you say, a bit of a sense of humor, where they had the little lion paw print on the back of that rubber strap, which apparently is also a high-tech rubber strap that has more tensile. It's like X factors of tensile strength.
No, and even the dial reminds you of a tiger or a lion.
It's inspired by the hairs of a lion's mane flowing in the wind.
Yeah. Well, and
that's
it
not
looks
a lie.
like
I did not just come up with that. I remember that from the meeting.
It looks like it.
They must use ChatGPT for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. No, a beautiful watch.
I think that was really
There's
nice.
no lions in Japan, right? So
I don't think so.
Hermes had a licking horse or something.
Yeah.
Licky the tongue
or something.
Licky the horse.
Out. But what actually caught my attention was the cut in 39 millimeters.
Oh.
There was, this time it was a Le Temps Suspendu version, which I don't think makes a lot of sense. But if they would do a steel version of that watch in time only, would be a really nice size.
But you don't think it's kind of cool though, isn't it? The complication?
No, the complication is cool, but
stop time.
It's a 44,000 euro Rolls gold watch, which I'm never going to buy. So
you don't know yet.
Yeah,
you don't know. You
Yeah,
can't
you
say
don't
that. Never say never, Daan.
But I was thinking if they would make a stainless steel time-only version of the 39, it would be...
I think as far as complications go, I think that's a really cool, sort of a bit of a whimsical thing.
No,
where
for
you go,
sure.
yeah, okay, and now time doesn't matter, right? The hands do this crazy swirl where one goes one way, the other one goes the other way, and they both meet at this very 12, bizarre, sort of like V shape around 12
It's like
o'clock.
timeout.
The second's hand also goes counterclockwise.
It goes counterclockwise and only takes 24 seconds.
24 true. Seconds. Oh my God, I forgot about that. And that's a reference to the what is it? The 24th, not arrondissement, Faubourg or something to do with the address of the original Hermès Atelier.
Yes, exactly.
But going back to Licky the horse. We'll put some video.
You want to go?
We'll put some video.
I don't know if we want to go back to...
That's not the official name.
Now it is.
What's the official name? It is. It's been the official name since we saw it.
Licky the horse.
Yeah.
Licky the horse.
So we'll put some video up of that because that is truly a hilarious thing. And they had a good sense of humor about it as well. Yeah. And I thought it was...
They kept
better than Tissot.
Clicking the button.
Yeah. Nice.
Another highlight, I think, was Nomos with their world timer.
Yeah.
It's a 40 millimeter world timer with a really reasonable lug to lug, which usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, they've reworked those case proportions,
exactly,
right?
Exactly, yeah. It really fit well on my 17 centimeter wrist, and the colors are just really cool. Yeah. I think the regular models are nice with the dark blue.
Yeah.
And
I didn't like the regulars that much, but the limiteds are cool.
The limiteds are really cool, with the colors.
I heard, and this may be or may not be true, I haven't fact checked it, but I've heard that it's one of the slimmest, if not the slimmest, world timer out there.
But it's also a world
Bulgari,
timer.
Pay attention.
Yeah, Bulgari and Patek, right? Somebody said that, and that didn't really feel right, but it's a cool watch.
But there's no
Patek Calatrava. I forgot to mention it.
Oh.
We can go back to Patek. We can go back to Patek.
Yeah, let's mention it later
on. I think the Nomos is also very thin because it doesn't have a date.
Yeah.
There's no date on it, which for a world timer might be
awkward.
And the action on that pusher, it was just
really nice.
It was just usually you'd click it once or twice and go, yeah, okay, cool, it advances the thing. Yeah. But it was really, there was something very smooth and very satisfying to it. Yeah. And it's a new movement for them, and that's one of my highlights as well.
Very cool.
We'll see how.
And then I think finally the Renaissance Type 7 on the titanium integrated bracelet. Yeah. I think it's not for me because it feels a bit big, but it works with their
cool
with their dial design, and the bezel they did was a very concave bezel, which makes the dial flow into the case very nicely. Very cool.
I love the look of it because the case reminds me a little bit of like an old school sort of skin diver. It has that sort of H shape to it. I didn't get to see that one, unfortunately, but
it's very light as well. You pick it up and it's like, oh wow, it's
that's awesome. I really like that from Renaissance. Cool, very nice.
And one technical update from Tag Heuer was nice on their new Day-Date Carrera. They did a new bracelet adjustment system.
Okay.
So it looks like the Timex we had in the office.
Right. The
titanium Giorgio Galli Timex. So you pull one of the outer links out, you can twist it, and then you can take out the links.
Oh, so like the sizing system.
Exactly. Okay, so you don't need a tool at all. And it's spring loaded, so in the end the spring is going to wear out, but you use this.
You service it every 5 years, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Service it every 5 years. And how often do you actually take links on and off, right? Usually that's like a one and done kind of thing. And if you ever do need to put one in or take one out, it's super easy.
Should be fine. But that was a nice technical thing. Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. We're going to do something a little bit unorthodox here, I believe, and we're going to do a little bit of a 2-part episode. Daan, do you have anything else to add?
Otherwise, you can.
I'm gonna press this.
Scooch over, man.
I'm gonna press this lever, and the seat goes back. I know, but then we both go.
Just do the Bremont thing. Just shoot
Martin
me in the air.
Speaking of Bremont, we're gonna bring in Lex to also give us some highlights.
Bremont's biggest fan.
Yeah, exactly. Ambassador.
Bremont ambassador.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. So we're going to hit pause now for a second, and we'll be right back for you in fractions of a second.
I'll just do poof
with Lex.
And here take minutes, man. Lex is getting old.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Daan.
Yes.
Oh, Daan, you're wearing glasses.
Yeah.
No.
And my hair is longer.
Yeah, that's wow. That's crazy that happened just like that.
Yeah.
No, Lex, well,
Magic.
welcome and thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us for the podcast. We're gonna continue with some highlights. Lex, what were some of your main highlights from Watches and Wonders 2025? Do you remember last week? We went to Geneva.
We
were all there. We walked around. You remember? You saw some watches?
Right. Yeah. Did you guys already talk about Piaget?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Damn it. Okay.
A little bit.
Did you guys already talk about? Did you talk about HYT?
No, we didn't.
But were they at the Watch and Wonders Palexpo?
Yeah, they were.
They were.
Oh,
Yeah.
where?
They were the Carré des Horlogers.
Yeah. Which was twice as big this year. That Palexpo grew this year. It was weird.
Yeah, more brands as well.
There was room where there wasn't room before.
Yeah,
we saw
correct.
the back of the Rolex booth. That felt very wrong to be back there and see that. Yeah, but it was.
Oh, I didn't see HYT.
Yeah. Okay.
What did HYT have?
They had the new titanium sports model.
Oh.
So remember they did the closed dial versions, the smaller ones, and then there was a guilloche version, and now they have had a open worked version. So you could see the two small bellows, but in basically the same case. So still prominent on the wrist, but wearable. Cool. And there was one version with a sandblasted titanium case with white and red details that looked a little bit like it was Japan themed. There was also a Japan themed Louis Moinet Memory Spirit, by the way, with
That was
a
nice.
lovely.
The layout was that the layout of the original chronograph?
Yeah, it's the original, the small Memoris, and then with the racing dial, which was nice. But back to the HYT, so it that was it was nice, and with the wonderful the very angled lugs and the bracelet,
the super thick integrated strap bracelet thing.
So
but,
that was I like that.
Cool.
I was definitely surprised by that. Maybe I should. Up front, I was very disappointed with the Chanel G12 Bleu, the anniversary model. But in reality, it turned out to be quite nice.
Okay.
With the matte ceramic bezel or the shiny blingy sapphires.
No, although I like that, but there was like an in between variation. Like the basic one is a 38 or a 32, and then you have the baguette style kind of a matte ceramic bezel.
Yeah,
and then with Arabic numerals in black. Meh. But one step up, you get the same watch, but instead of the Arabic numerals, it has baguette cut blue sapphires.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Very blue. Very blue was also Zenith. We discussed this in our first impressions. Zenith was very blue, but I think the most remarkable, other than the blue trio, was this the dressy watch with a caliber 135. That was
it's a new collection, eh?
Yeah, true. It replaces the Elite, right?
Yeah, so the Elite will be discontinued and it will be replaced with this
JF.
Yeah, this collection. It's the initials of the founder of
GFJ.
Zenith. Yeah, GFJ. And it's I think it will be a little bit what LUZ is to Chopard.
Yeah.
Because it's very different from Elite. Elite was always a bit of the entry level stuff from Zenith. Really nice stuff though. But so this is more of the high end things that will replace the Elite.
Yeah.
I saw it on a leather strap, but they also showed it to me on the platinum bracelet.
Yeah,
and that looked really cool.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
It makes it twice as expensive, basically, which is it's a lot of platinum. But I have to say, I think that the original model, and I'm seeing this number and thinking that it's right, but perhaps I'm completely off. But I thought it was around 49,000. I think.
No, I think it was more expensive.
No? Was it more?
Yeah.
I mean,
the platinum one.
The platinum was more expensive.
That was more.
Okay, then maybe I'm just.
But I really like it.
A lot of numbers last week.
Yeah, and I also really like the caliber 135. It's cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
Big balance wheel. It's very nicely done.
And I think I have the feeling this will be the first of many versions of this using this sort of layout. I think it works well on the wrist. It's beautiful, and that blue dial. It's it maybe not for everybody. It's very bright and very colorful, but at the same time really impressive. So kudos to Zenith. Let's talk Patek.
Yeah, we did mention it when Daan was here, but I quickly mentioned that the Patek Calatrava was so nice.
The platinum one with the brown, brownish, copperish dial, and the brown strap, and then with the blackened indexes and hands.
Yeah, stunning.
Fantastic! It's going to be on my list. It's, the thing is, I saw quite. Sometimes you go to a watch fair and you see stuff and you like it and you appreciate it and da. This time, I really saw some stuff. I thought I could own that.
I also like the split timer. I don't know the reference. 5-3.
The
brownish dial.
The chocolate brown rattrapant, which looked like it was in the catalog forever.
Yeah, but it's so nice.
And then it was new.
Chambre levée enamel, everything. I mean, that thing is.
But I think the price is also very out of the wallet.
Yeah.
And did you try? I tried the 40mm cubitus.
Me too.
And I still don't like the watch, but it wears nice on the wrist. I can't.
I think
say
even the big one kind of wears nice.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with the way it sits on the wrist.
It sits nicely on the wrist, but I prefer the 40mm.
Yeah.
It's just a bit more
with that cubitus. It's a little
elegant.
bit. You can say about it all the nice things that you would say about the Land Dweller. You can be like, oh, it's beautifully made, and it feels like it's a quality thing, and it's But at the same time, there's also like looking at it, you kind of go, oh, there's some things wrong with this.
Yeah, I still have that with the cubitus, and I also think maybe that even proportionally the big one is better than the 40.
The 40 looks a bit more compact.
Yeah.
Almost
I like medium. Looks medium.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Medium.
Yeah. It's nice, but it wears nice. It's a bit more.
It does.
Looks more
nice.
sophisticated on the wrist. But you get this. It's a bit more cramped, more compact.
But it was that basic Calatrava that
stunning.
43, right?
40,000 Swiss francs.
40,000 Swiss francs.
Yeah.
But I had a few watches where I thought I would definitely just wear this.
Yeah.
But would you wear the desk clock from Patek?
Yeah.
Man,
as a belt buckle.
as a belt buckle. Yeah. I think it's absolutely a fascinating object.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It's brilliant. It's really truly impressive. For me, it was.
But in the same style. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries.
It's
not like you've made a reputation.
Here will come another comment.
No, but otherwise people get anxious.
No, go on.
We have listeners who get anxious. No, but it's a little bit in the same lavish style as the Patek clock was the. And I can't find it online in the Bulgari press room because I have to. Can we just say one thing? Sorry about the. No, maybe we shouldn't because we're not talking to the press. But my God, it's a hot mess. The whole organization of stuff, Watches and Wonders. People of Watches and Wonders, if you're listening, please get your stuff together. It's really it's
press materials.
The press material.
The brands that send you two images of
from the press room
thing.
In the Watches and Wonders press side. I was sent to the Bulgari store. I get it. They want my money. It's okay, but I can't get the info. And the thing is, I wanted info on one of my absolute favorite watches of the show, which was a yellow gold Octo Finissimo with a green marble dial, and a green strap. And that watch looked like the inside of the boutique in Rome, the Via Condotti.
Yeah.
Man,
all around
glasses
and
windows. Man, it's like wearing Rome on the wrist. Rome on the wrist.
Well, you know what they say. It wasn't built in a day. I think you got your facts confused, Lexa. I think that Bulgari now sells the press release. Like you have
to buy the press release.
You have to buy the press release. Yeah.
My God, we do accept PayPal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
and
well,
the
that's
images.
A good thing.
It's a little additional payment.
I think that was something absolutely stunning, and there was quite a bit of there was quite a lot of watches. I thought, man, I would wear that, and from the extremes, from this Bulgari also to an Alpina Tropic Proof.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And
I think my favorite thing about Bulgari this year was seeing Mike Stockton wear a Serpenti. And then also we were at dinner one night and there was somebody wearing on the same wrist, shout out to whoever she was, on the same wrist, a Serpenti and a Tag Heuer Formula One.
Oh,
that's
the new one.
Awesome combination.
And I thought that's one way to get 2 time zones on the wrist.
That LVMH influencer.
I was saying an LVMH stockholder.
yeah, exactly.
Well, stocks went down, I saw, but
why is that?
Cheers, Trump.
Why is that?
I don't know. No idea.
I wonder why.
Sort of to go back, what were your impressions on the new Formula Ones?
Silence.
That was the meeting I
No, the
walked
thing
out
is,
of, so
I get it, and it's probably going to sell or maybe not as well in the US as they expect. I heard reactions from people saying, "Oh, it's not that expensive," to other people saying it's way too expensive. I heard people say, "Oh, well, it's definitely an upgrade from the old one," while others have said, "Yeah, well, it's maybe a little bit of an upgrade, but the other one was the original was so shite." That's that. So yeah,
quality-wise, it's better than the old ones.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But the whole concept makes sense. I think it's brilliant and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's clever to bring it back. And basically, I think that they probably did the Kith version, and then they were so overwhelmed by the positive response to that, of people having some sort of like nostalgic tie into that and going, I would love this if it didn't say Kith on the dial, and then they just had to do it.
Yeah, on the other hand, so LVMH gets the whole Formula One deal. Tag Heuer gets to be the name sponsor of about everything. It cost them quite a substantial bit of cash. Yeah. So they also need a very, very thorough strategy to kind of get that money back. Yeah. So I think they did test the waters, but this was, of course, immediately in the pipeline. And I think
this is a no-brainer. They had to do it.
It's
I agree. Yeah.
Well, it is a no-brainer, but then they used a little bit of extra brain power and came up. But the concept is with the standard models and then the special editions for the different Grand Prix.
And Max was wearing the winner of yesterday's Grand Prix. He was wearing the
not our photographer
Fuji Monaco split timer.
Oh, he was. What, the white one?
The white one.
Lex is still not convinced it's real.
He was wearing it.
Yeah,
that's why it was not in the touch and try session at Watches and Wonders. Max was wearing it.
It was a serious question to the Tag Heuer PR representative if it was an April Fool's joke. Because of the weird text in the two subdials and the colorway and everything. I really thought it was a joke.
Oh, well, no.
No joke.
Swiss people don't make jokes.
It was not a joke.
So from the Kith edition to the new edition, and speaking of kithing, what about the Van Cleef and Arpels watch?
Oh,
sorry, I did my Mike Tyson impersonation there.
That was, I loved it. I think it's super nice. I like the whole idea that you can activate the mechanism and then the two lovers meet and kith.
And does the licking horse have a play in this?
Licky. No, Licky is later. Licky comes later. And then what I really liked about the Van Cleef thingy is when it every hour they come together and then they kiss for 3 minutes.
Yeah, because that's
the perfect. 3 minutes is like the perfect length of a kiss that really bonds lovers together. Oh. I love that little bit of poetry. Yeah, it was
always impressive. The mechanisms and everything. They also had this. They had a watch, the Ruban Mystérieuse. I think that had the crystal was a diamond.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
The entire crystal of the watch was a diamond. Pretty crazy. And then that bracelet that they had on the other one, this gem set bracelet with quick release. That's just an incredible thing. Got to mention Van Cleef because what they do is just completely bonkers.
So, what do you guys thought of the new Baume & Mercier models?
I didn't see them.
That's it. You can't ask that question.
Silence.
No, but we will have a different podcast for the next podcast. Will be fully dedicated to
Baume & Mercier. We'll be a very lengthy one, like 1.5 hours.
Just save the best for later.
The megasode. This is not the megasode. No. That's going to be the megasode.
What I found interesting. Now we're doing the podcast here, so I can mention it. You guys did a podcast last week in Geneva.
Yeah, just a quick.
Yeah, we did.
Just a quick.
I didn't join because I was too late and caught up in meetings. But I asked for if we could use that room.
Yeah.
The YouTube room.
YouTube studio. Yeah.
The YouTube studio. Yeah. And it was they rented, or I don't know, they had some deal with Watches and Wonders. But there was one little disclaimer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could not talk negatively about any of the brands, and it was a demand from Watches and Wonders. I think that's very strange.
Yeah, I
That's a
agree.
bit silly
Of course, I
because
agree with you.
We're not gonna, if we didn't do it then, we're going to do it now. I mean, and if we have opinions that are negative, we're just going to.
Yeah, but I don't like those. Oh, you
That's
can use
silly.
it, but you can't say this. You can't.
I think we still.
It's a bit strange, right?
I don't think we kept to that. Sorry.
I didn't watch
Watches
it
and Wonders, but,
back yet. But
no,
yeah, you.
no.
We were quite.
We had some opinions about stuff where we thought it
You
wasn't.
trashed
wasn't so
Parmigiani.
good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, then the brand will never recover.
No.
No. So how about
that was so nice.
how about Vacheron?
Yeah, we didn't mention it, and
No.
I think
You didn't?
no,
we
not
didn't.
yet.
Oh,
World's
okay.
most complicated wristwatch.
That was stunning, of course.
I mean, you really want your wristwatch to track, to have temporal tracking of celestial objects. Otherwise, it's, do those Tag Heuers track celestial
But
objects?
very impressive watch, and there was a little video put on by someone on the interwebs, I don't know who, that shows the CEO of AP looking at that watch, and she has a very long face, not looking happy. It was very, I mean, it was a fun meme.
Okay.
Probably not done by someone Swiss, but no, but I think it's a quite an achievement, that watch. Yeah. Super cool.
What I like about that watch is that it. There's a couple of things I like. First is it was a concept by a watchmaker inside the manufacturer, who then just did the whole thing.
No.
So it was his idea.
The janitor, right? I mean,
What?
It wasn't going to be the janitor.
No, but I know what I like.
You guys have a really good idea.
No, but sometimes what they do at Vacheron, because they have this bespoke program, and then you have someone. I want an ultra precise tourbillon with just one hand. But in this case, and then they make it. In this case, it was really a thing that Vacheron came up by itself, and it was also a watchmaker who came up by itself. And what is one of the nicest things? He used the rattrapante mechanism to calculate if you see a star.
Yeah.
And I have to say this correctly. If you see a star and you want to know exactly where it is, blah blah blah, etc., you could actually time it with by use of the rattrapante. And then when it's, I don't know exactly, you have to too complicated for me to remember, and too complicated to explain.
The most complicated.
But what I liked is that it was such a watchmaker's watch that it became super interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
So
41 complications. It's just completely crazy. And hey, they managed to tuck the power reserve indicator around the back, which is the right place to put it. So even there they
I think
got that right, which is good.
Yeah, but I think the rest of the collection was also impressive. I think Vacheron is doing a really nice job these days.
And I had my doubts about the anniversary dials of the.
I like them in the flash.
Exactly.
Yeah, beautiful.
The patrimonies. And
you don't like them?
I like them.
I like them. What I did not like is there's one with a peripheral rotor that I really enjoyed. That's super nice, but the other ones,
it's a patrimony, the one with the peripheral.
Yeah.
It was with the open work dials.
Exactly. Yeah. The other ones, I think the movement, the diameter was a bit too small for the case.
Yeah. True.
That's my only thing about these watch. But on the dial side, those beautiful.
Those are old movements.
Yeah.
Old movements.
Yeah.
They have had them around with especially the one with the retrograde date, which I love, which I think is very very Vacheron.
It looks great. Yeah, it's fantastic. I didn't love the style of that guilloche. I was just not a huge fan of it. The watches themselves, I thought size-wise, especially the smaller ones, I believe they were 38, or 39, something like that. They were really great on the wrist, nice and slim, classy. But for me, that guilloche, I mean, it's
an anniversary guilloche.
So
next year it's for you again.
It's like the BMW logo with all the color on it. Do you like it more or less? I mean,
I like it.
Less.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then we mentioned some stuff over at Chopard, but there was something that was a little bit. I haven't seen it mentioned much, but it was my favorite new Chopard of the fair, which was the Alpine Eagle 41 SL Cadence 8 HF.
Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't like it.
Me neither.
No.
Okay.
The original one, nice and technical. This one, didn't. It was
too much.
It was very dull.
Yeah,
and also the color combination.
No, it's not for me. I think there are a lot of fans for it.
Chic.
I like it.
No, it was not chic. I think it's a sports watch, and a lot of people seem to like it, but it's not for me.
I like it because it's not chic. I like it because it's ceramized titanium and like a blacked out dial.
Oh no,
no, not ceratanium. No, you can't say that. But hey, it'll only be a 26,800 euro problem for 250 people, so that's fine.
Oh, they will sell it nevertheless. But it was not my. Yeah. It was my least favorite at Chopard, to be honest.
Yeah. Exactly, it was my favorite.
Yeah.
And I really like that platinum Alpine Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful, stunning on the wrist, really stunning. Yeah. But the price is also stunning.
Full disclosure, I didn't go to Chopard, didn't see them, but I found out about this after the fact. Yeah. Saw some images. Yeah. So maybe it is the kind of thing where
if you see it was.
Is it too dark? The
it's
black
very
black,
dark. It's very dark, and it almost looks a little bit crude.
Right. I think because it's coated, so it adds imagine it adds a few microns of serotanin. No,
but the Chopard was strong in general.
Yeah,
yeah, super nice. Cool
brand. What about those new Luminor Marina models? I like them. I thought that it was an improvement.
I like them. We had one here before Watches Wonders with the green dial.
Yeah.
But I liked the
regular one,
basic one with the black dial. That's so cool.
It's a little bit slimmer. It's 500 meters, and
that's good.
It's
same price.
It's the same
previous one.
Exactly.
Same price.
So that's just a solid little small improvement, and
Just don't like
really stunning.
I don't like the date.
But we also know what's coming. It's under embargo later this year. I think that will really be a super cool one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else. In this episode, we haven't spoken about Tudor yet. We discussed it a little bit in our episode. But RJ, what did you think of Tudor? Did you think of Tudor?
No, no, not really. It's not my brand. But
okay,
I mean, super nice people on the watches. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. But I liked the Black Bay Pro with the opaline dial. Yeah. Super cool.
I agree.
Super nice.
I agree.
What I didn't get is that they use the old movement and the watch is still kind of thick. So that's but I don't get that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have an explanation.
No, I agree.
Mr. Tudor?
That having that.
No, that's someone else.
No, that's the guy who lives in Amsterdam, right? He bought a Tag Heuer Formula One because he was sort of so disappointed with the Tudor introduction. So
now you can be the
his
Mr.
name
Tudor.
to Mr. Tag Heuer. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Tag Heuer, Tudor, whatever. No. So for me, I have to say about the thickness of it. They should have taken that opportunity to do it, and they should have probably just revamped both models.
Yeah.
At the same time, what I could see very well happening is that here's a white dial. We're using the same cases, same movement, and then that's it for the Black Bay Pro.
Yeah.
There won't be more. This is sort of my loose prediction based on nothing, but something that might be the thing that makes sense to me, which is that that's it. It's a black dial, a white dial, and then that's going to be it. Next year it'll be gone, or in a couple of years it'll be gone, and then that's all she wrote, right? But because otherwise, I mean, imagine then you have to take the new movement, you have to slim it down. You can't just make one new version with a white dial that's slim and leave the previous one as is, right?
Yeah.
That's a little bit, that would be a little bit odd. And it's the same reason why the new Pelagos Ultra sort of falls on top of the previous Pelagos, because you might say, well, they're almost the same, just a millimeter of difference and 0.2 in thickness. But then, there's enough changes there that they've done to the case profile and everything to sort of make it be its own thing. I mean, that's for someone who can see these granular differences. I was happy with Tudor. The only one that didn't really quite work for me was that Burgundy Black Bay 58.
And there was also something odd I saw in the presentation is that the Burgundy it's hardly Burgundy.
It's not even Burgundy.
It's more claret. It's so incredibly bright.
It looks like the very red candy wraps from the local Chinese restaurant here.
It's the shout out to the local Chinese
wall.
Chinese wall, man. Respect.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
Lovely. The thing is, when I saw the presentation, they had all the novelties on this large video wall, and I noticed that the entry level price of the Black Bay 58 in red is higher than the entry level price of a Black Bay Pro.
Really? Oh,
yes,
wow.
really.
I think that's probably because of the Metas movement.
Yeah,
inside.
but there is isn't there something else Metas that is that's all. That's also the explanation I got. That is Metas and this and that. But I think a Flyer GMT, which a watch that is cheaper than a small Metas certified 58, Black Bay 58. I thought it was a little bit, a little bit weird.
But that's why I also would then almost expect then the Black Bay Proto. It's like, okay, now it's gone full circle.
Yeah, I also think that they're going to discontinue.
They're just not going to bother with doing a new thing with it, which is a shame. It could be really good.
Oh, sorry, the 68.
The 68, 43 millimeters.
Fits my wrist, but for me it was just a bit too large. Yeah. But apparently there's a market for that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
They know what they're doing. I assume.
Padding out the catalog with more.
I like the black and the white chronograph with the Jubilee 5-link row bracelet.
Yeah. The bracelet is
super
awesome.
cool on that watch.
Yeah.
So somewhere else where I saw a big lineup of watches up on the big screen in front of me, all of the new references, with 2 exceptions, was over at Bremont. And they were very black and white, so it was all the MB meteors and everything. Yeah, and the new pilot chronographs. I have to say the Martin Baker model, I thought that was quite good. Mm-hmm. I thought it was like a slim down slimmer titanium version. I put that on my wrist, and I thought, it's still good. I mean, it's very much taking a lot of what was there and then very slowly and very minimally sort of refining it. But I thought that was I could say something positive there about that one, because I
think last year was total crap, but I think they really listened or changed.
Yeah.
So that was good.
And then that perpetual calendar, that movement is
Agenor. That's a surprise. I have to say, I like the Terra Nova jumping hour, and then
the one you were wearing,
the black one. I wore for 1.5 days.
I think I need.
I genuinely. I like I think the K shape of the Terra Nova worked with the quirkiness of the jumping hour with the.
I need more time to warm up to it, I think, but I think it's kind of seeing it on your wrist. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. It's something completely different.
And the good thing is, and now they had the MB update, and so you have something that is a little bit novel and something that is just a good tool watch
for sure.
We did not mention.
Yes,
perhaps you have it on your list. I don't know.
Let's see. No, I didn't have it on my list.
20 years of Big Bang. Even the bigger bang. I don't know whether it's a bigger bang than the original Big Bang, but I did like it on the wrist, to be honest.
I also liked it on the wrist, and I had a question. We talked about the dial because it's like a carbon fiber pattern, and
so the first one was real carbon fiber in 2005, and this one is just a brass dial, and they stamped the carbon fiber pattern in it.
Yeah, and they did it on purpose because now it has texture, so it reflects the light differently. So because I was a little bit afraid, but judging by the press pictures I saw at first, I thought it was just a carbon print. Yeah. But a sticker,
like basically
a
sticker,
which is not very. No. They stripped an old Opel Astra of its stickers and reworked them. It's
it's stamped,
but it's stamped. But to me. I still feel that it would have made more sense if it was like real carbon fiber. I think it would be more in the spirit of Big Bang and the fusion of materials. My biggest surprise actually there was a Big Bang in shiny mint-colored ceramic.
I saw that on your wrist. I saw Daan's.
I had to do
that. Was nice.
Is that the men and women's versions, right?
Yeah, his and hers.
Yeah, his and hers.
Yeah. There was but I didn't. I didn't care that much for the petrol blue, but the mint
color was nice.
Oh, that was
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a box. I think it was a one-off. With all the sapphire.
Yeah, you had to buy the whole box.
The whole box.
Jeez. You could do that at Zenith too with the 3 blue ones if you really want to. Yeah. There was also one thing that we can just quickly touch on. We're coming up on an hour, so I think we can start wrapping up. But it was the new Ulysse Nardin, the Diver Air, 52 grams, same weight as a small tangerine.
Fixing a non-existent problem, man.
Small tangerine. That's what they said in the presentation.
Yeah, it was a Swiss joke because if you squeeze it with 170 kilos underwater, you'll get orange juice.
At 200 meters of depth, you would just have a glass of tangerine juice. Actually, a very salty, very diluted cloud of tangerine juice in a very dark depths of the ocean.
Funny haha jokes.
I will name one that is a brand that actually surprised RJ, and I think more people who are a little bit skeptical. And that's there was a 40 millimeter Roger Dubuis Excalibur with the retrograde perpetual calendar that I thought worked really well.
I like the look of that, and it might have been again because our former photographer Morgan took a picture of that. He put up on Instagram. That was just incredible.
Without a strap, it looked good without a strap. Yeah. That was very weird, by the way.
He might get a phone call and asking where that strap is. But I don't know.
No, but I thought it was
now on some island.
I thought it was it's their 30th anniversary, and it was kind of smallish. It had the nice original codes. It's not going to be a limited edition.
Oh, great.
It's I thought it was a proper nice watch, like a mix of the old and the new, and maybe a glimpse of the future. I thought it was a surprisingly good
Very
watch.
Cool.
With Ulysse Nardin, I mean, I really like the brand, what they did in the past.
Yeah.
But now this felt, and also was a much heard comment. It feels like a cheapish Richard Mille.
Yeah, and that's not good.
And that's not good.
Not a good association.
No, and I also didn't get. It's a diver's watch, and they really emphasized it. It's a diver's watch.
Yeah,
I don't think a diver needs a 56 grams watch.
No,
I mean if you're flying a jet plane or you go to space, every gram counts. Even a race car driver, every gram counts. But if you're diving, does it? No,
it doesn't. And the other thing that I was surprised by is how relatively sort of thick it is. It's still about as large as previous divers have been. So it's not like it's very light, and it's impressively thin, which has been the case with some Richard Milles, for example. But I don't know. I think it's like you say, and it was just the one watch.
Yeah.
Cool concept. It's always cool to see these watches that kind of go for a record. Yeah. And in a way, it's nice to have, Bulgari and Richard Mille kind of, there was another one, I forget what it was. Was it a Reshep or something like that, or an Acrivia that also was fighting for the title of the thinnest watch as well? And then, of course,
the constant shaking.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Sorry. Yeah. I knew it was something in the old town Geneva, something like that.
Constantly shaking.
And then there was, then obviously having the ultra complication battle between AP and now Vacheron. I think it's good to have these rivalries, but I don't think that. Ulysse Nardin is jumping in the shark tank with Richard Mille is a bit odd. We have had some brands that we haven't mentioned. Montblanc, for example. We also haven't mentioned a couple others. If you go into the Carré, I don't know. Did you see Montblanc?
Yeah,
was there anything
I did.
Impressive?
It was my very, very final appointment at the show. There was something interesting that I think needs a little bit of aesthetical tweaking, but it's kind of interesting. It's a Minerva. It's an annual calendar based on a Pythagore movement.
I didn't see it.
And they have it in lime gold. And they have it in steel. Yeah, that lime gold is such lime gold is such a weird color, but and it has some nice elements, but I feel it could be a little bit more refined. A little. Okay. There are some.
Hey, we'll check again.
Year, right?
We'll check in again next year. Exactly.
What did you think of the Odysseus in honey gold?
That's not my colorway.
No,
it's just not my colorway. Well. It's
You?
I sort of wanted to like it because I saw it at first in the pictures and I thought, oh, this could be quite nice. But then it's a little, not really, not for me. I think the shade of brown and then the pale, the
dial was super
gold,
cool. But it's the honey gold that doesn't
maybe rose gold would have worked.
Yeah, rose gold and brown works well.
Yeah, but for me, the highlight were those really beautiful 34 millimeter
ladies' watches.
Nice. The straps were quite short, so I don't know. I had to.
I thought on my wrist, I was looking at it. I thought, oh my god, this is going to be. I'm going to be so much in trouble. I probably want this. I want this. And
really
then
good.
I put it on, and then I don't want it at all.
No,
it really doesn't. Okay. It was
and the minute repeater perpetual calendar.
Yeah, I got that one, of course.
Yeah, that's a great one to see and go, yeah, beautiful, perfect, Lange doing their thing, incredible. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. But strangely enough, when we talked about this already, the 34 millimeter Lange didn't work, but the 34 millimeter Alpina did.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, we
that's
brought
true.
that up. We brought that up.
It is about dial proportion. It was way thicker, of course, but that kind of I love that one.
If you had to pick one winner for you from the show, what would it be?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Piaget, Andy Warhol, white gold, stepped Clou de Paris bezel, blue meteorite dial, and a blue alligator strap.
Okay, and you, RJ? Your winner? Bell & Ross. We didn't talk about Bell.
No, that's definitely not the winner. But I didn't see.
Please don't.
We didn't mention Arnold & Son.
Oh yeah,
Super cool.
the tourbillon.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah,
but
very
my
impressive.
winner is, I think in the end, is the Polo 79 in white gold.
Wow, double
also
header for
Piaget. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
That's
Really
Don't you like it more in yellow?
Yeah,
Okay, but then
that
it's
doesn't
still
make. That's the winner of last year.
And you wouldn't
wow.
go with one of the LUCs? That with the calendar and the sub dial, rose gold
Also,
blue dial.
man, that's stunning. But I have to pick one.
Okay.
And off Watches and Wonders.
Oh,
Off Watches and Wonders. So there was a whole thing going on. That time to
Okay.
watches, and
There was a lot going on.
A lot
Yeah.
going on.
Beau Rivage, everything.
I got the chance to see the new Singer Heritage Collection chronograph in the flesh. Tried the black one and the green one. Man, I really like it.
okay.
Such a cool
Can I
watch.
also do an off?
Well, we know what it is, right? It's the Jacob & Co. 4-axis tourbillon.
Okay, but then my number two.
Mic drop.
Okay, you're number 2.
It was the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak open worked anniversary. The one in the new shade of what is it? Blue nuit, bleu nuit nuage ceramic with the double balance wheel open work. It was just spectacular. There was also a beast. Now they have a blue beast, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But that other one, the contrast.
You can't call it the beast anymore, man.
Yeah, well.
You wore your ceramic watch today. Like you didn't do a wrist check, but it's the Moonswatch mission on Earth.
By ceramic. Yeah,
keep your arms
exactly.
crossed.
But that Royal Oak, that open work one in blue. Wow.
If I don't see blue ceramic again for the rest of my life,
Yeah,
I'll
you're
die
good.
happy.
Yeah, you're golden.
No, that's fine. So
I get it.
for me, my winner at Watches and Wonders was probably the Nomos Club
World
Sport
Timer. Yeah.
Pneumatic World Timer.
Yeah, great.
It's just I like it. And
Which colorway?
The jungle. That's the one. That's the one. So that's that's probably a winner for me. And outside it was the Doxa 250T GMT.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I think it's super wearable.
what color
First
was
meeting
that?
we had.
Well, there's every color.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
9
But
different colors.
which color would you pick?
Probably the professional orange.
Yeah,
dial.
orange.
Yeah, I think so. Or the Shark Hunter. That was good. Not the vintage. I don't like the vintage Shark Hunter. I like the GMT hand, but that vignette dial is definitely not for me. Cool. I think we can call it a day there. We saw a lot. So obviously this episode, wow! I think it's the first time that we hit an hour on this show. So you're welcome. And also
We're sorry.
and we're sorry. And so for comment of the week, we have MG Apanolo, who said 1819, who says, "Who is Lex and why is he important enough to interview?" That's from our quickie episode in Watches and Wonders. He said, meaning no disrespect, I just don't know who he is.
Can you introduce yourself, Lex?
Lex.
Yeah, I've been in the watch industry since Abraham Louis Breguet. Was a dear friend. I still mourn his loss, the loss of a dear friend. But since then, I made new friends. So now I'm at Fratello with the second most important man in watch industry, RJ Broer. And that's who I am.
You don't mourn his loss.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
We don't have
Lex is also the lookalike of what was this? The
Bernard Langer.
Yeah,
Golfer.
I've been called,
According to
I've
some
been
sources.
called so many names.
yeah. That's what happens.
But I'm I'm glad I could introduce myself to what.
Yeah, I think it's about
what's his
time.
name?
You know, we're at over 100 episodes. It's about time people got to know who Lex was. So
Yeah.
that's good. Glad we
Finally.
got
Nice
that
to meet
out
you,
of the
Lex.
way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Well, that's it for Watches and Wonders 2025, and I think we can wrap it up there. So thanks, guys, for joining me.
Yeah.
Thanks to Daan. He's somewhere. I think he's over there somewhere. I don't know. He'll be fine. Thank you for tuning in. As always, tune in next week for another episode of Fratello Talks. We will see you then.